Hey guys, so today's video is a full face of e.l.f. and I usually do high-end makeup videos. I usually buy high-end makeup. That's kind of like my thing. Oh, what's this piece of hair? Okay. But recently I did Milani, and now I know you guys really have been just recommending a lot of e.l.f. products to me. So I bought a full face of e.l.f. and we're gonna just try it out. e.l.f. is kind of one of those brands that actually intrigue me from the drugstore. I feel like their prices are so good, but the products actually seem like high quality products, which is great. But also they're cruelty free, and a lot of drugstore brands are just not cruelty free. L'Oreal, Maybelline, Revlon, like they're not cruelty free brands. So a lot of the times it's very difficult to buy a lot of drugstore makeup that is also cruelty free. But I know China is changing its laws, so by then maybe I'll be able to buy more drugstore makeup for you guys. But right now I'm stuck with, you know, e.l.f. I think Essence maybe is cruelty free. Colourpop, that's not really a drugstore brand because you can't just pop into a drugstore and buy it. This is a full face of e.l.f. I actually just realised that I forgot a setting spray, so we'll just skip that. It's fine. It's not that necessary. Also, I bought this sponge. So usually I don't buy tools for these makeup looks because then I'd just have like a bunch of unnecessary brushes. But I also already had this e.l.f. Blush brush. Well, this is like a setting brush, but I use it for blush. And it's from e.l.f. It's really good. You guys always ask me what this is. It's an e.l.f. brush, but I got it like 2 years ago. So I don't know if they still sell this. But it's in like this clear handle. And it's just really flimsy. It was called a setting brush, I'm pretty sure. So I decided to use that today. And then I got this sponge. You guys told me that the e.l.f. sponge is like hands down one of your favorite drugstore like beauty blenders, stuff like that. It's super soft. Like the squish on this is incredible. It was so tiny when I got it, and it's actually expanded to like a pretty big size, and I'm just excited because of the shape. I feel like it would be good for concealer and just like around the areas. I bought more products than necessary, but I feel like you could really do a full face of e.l.f. for maybe £75. Like I feel like at most you're going to spend 75. I got like 2 lip glosses, 1 lipstick, 2 primers. Like if you just cut down to 1 of each, you're probably going to get down to like 80, 75 pounds. I think I spent something like 96 pounds on this whole thing, which is incredible because like one Natasha Denona palette is 60 pounds or 110 pounds depending on the size. Pat McGrath is 120. Like that's one palette versus a whole full face. So I usually don't buy sets, but I thought this set was so curated and just so cute that I just thought like I'd show you guys a good version of like a brush set. This is just 3 eyeshadow brushes. You have this kind of thick packer brush, which I love these kind of brushes. I go through these like nothing in this world. Then there's this like more flat tapered just blending brush, and then just like this like small like detailer brush. So I'll be using these today because all of my eyeshadow brushes are dirty and they're going into the wash. So I'm glad I got these. It's almost like I just knew that I was going to not be able to use brushes. So I have that. And yeah, let's just get into it, I guess. Before we do that, my social media will be in the description along with my drama channel and anything else you might need to find. Also, I did recently become a brand ambassador for Bubble Skincare. This video is not sponsored by Bubble Skincare, but my discount link or code will be in the description under like affiliate links. So there'll be Bubble Skincare if you want to buy any skincare from Bubble. I think the packaging is super cute, and I just feel like their whole idea of being cruelty free and just like for teenagers, I think it's just like a really cool brand that I'm so happy to be working with. I've been trying their products for a while, and now I actually feel comfortable telling you guys to, you know, go use your discount code. So from their Mint Melt collection, they have this cooling face primer. This is one of the older collections. Cooling face primer. I feel like that'll be so cool. I get so sweaty in the summertime, and it's starting to get a little bit warmer in the UK now. Hopefully, it's been raining for like 5 weeks. So I feel like this could be really cool for stopping me from sweating, maybe. It's like minty, so let me just put it on my hand. I'm not going to put it on my skin because I already have like a bunch of skincare on, so I feel like this would just be overkill. But I just wanted to buy it and then just like try it later on. Okay, oh, so it comes out as like a gel. I thought it was going to be creamy, but it's not. Oh, it's thick. But it's spreading out pretty well. Like this little bit that I put on my hand has pretty much covered my whole palm. So I feel like you don't need much more on your skin. Does it feel cooling? I don't know. I'll wait and see if it's cooling on my hand, but I'm not gonna. It is. It's like mentholy, almost like a plumping lip gloss. Yeah, like that's actually cooling. It feels really strange in my hand. Oh my god. Okay, well it's also a little bit tacky when it starts to dry down, so I feel like this will be like a good Hydro Grip alternative, maybe like Milk Hydro Grip, because that's really expensive. I'm intrigued by this product, and I also got the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer, which is supposed to be a dupe for the Tatcha one. This is very famous. Some people love it, some people hate it. It just depends on what side of the spectrum you're on. I don't know, I'll try this another time, and I'll just go in with the Putty Primer because I've been so intrigued by this for so long. It's like, does it work? Does it not? I don't know. Oh my god, okay, so it's, oh, I already dug my nail into it accidentally right there. Okay, so it's really emollient. It's like melting straight away. I thought it was going to be more thick. So let me just press it into my pores. I'm not going to drag, I'm just going to pat into the areas that require it the most. I mean, it's not doing like extraordinary things, I'm going to be honest with you. Maybe I'm just not applying enough, but I don't want to apply too much or it will get like goopy and weird. But I'm glad it's not super like thick and dry, because those tend to look really cakey under your makeup. So I'm glad that it's actually just like more chill and toned down. Let me just apply a tiny bit more in these areas here. I'm gonna wait for it to dry down a tiny bit before I make my final verdict. I'm basically just gonna wait for it to, you know, be under makeup and stuff. So I'll see how that goes. Maybe just apply it in like T-zone areas. I feel like it will blur pretty nicely in those areas. I already have a piece of hair stuck in the tub. Can you see that? This is what I hate about like this kind of packaging. It's like you end up getting so much dirt in it. That's why I kind of enjoyed how the Benefit Professional was set up. It was in like a squeezy tube. I don't know what I was expecting, but it maybe wasn't this. I thought it was going to be like an actual thick putty primer, so I was like kind of scared of it, but it's pretty emollient and I feel like it blurred a little bit. Nothing crazy, but just like a tiny bit of blurring, but it didn't make my skin super matte or anything. So I'll keep on working with this and see how I feel about it. So far, it's a pretty decent product. Like I feel like it looks fine, but I just want to see how my final makeup looks before I give it a verdict. This is strange. It's already stopped cooling and now it just feels tacky. So I feel like this will be a good dupe for their Hydro Grip, and I'll let you guys know the more I try it, and probably you'll find out next month sometime in like some kind of a review. So what else do I have? I have the most recent Camo Cc Cream. I have it in the shade Fair 120. It has color correcting, full coverage, natural finish, collagen, peptides, and niacinamide, as well as SPF 30. So I'm pretty excited. I haven't watched any reviews on e.l.f., at least not recently. Like maybe just in passing, someone will mention something about e.l.f., but as a whole, I haven't watched like, oh, what do people think about this? And what do people think about that? So I just want to make up my own mind. Okay, now that it's drying down, I feel like it's starting to get those like blurring properties. I don't know. I'm gonna just go in with the CC cream on the sponge. So I'll do one pump to begin. Oh, one pump's very small. So I'll do maybe 1.5. Yeah. I mean, this looks like a pretty good match. I don't know how I do it every time. I built this makeup online and every single time, pretty much without fail, I managed to shade match pretty well. Like I feel like it's my calling in life. It's just to shade match, you know? Look at that, that's good. I know it seems really light, but it's because I have redness on my cheeks. When I blend it out, it will look fine. It's pretty, I thought it was gonna be much thinner than this, and it's not. It feels like a foundation. And it's gonna be apparently full coverage, so it's like a full coverage CC cream. Okay, this sponge is silky soft. I'm so impressed by the sponge. If this sponge keeps on performing so well, I might stop buying the Colourpop ones, because I've already stopped buying the Beauty Blender ones and I moved to Colourpop. But Colourpop are about $6 each, and this one was probably like £3. So I'll put everything in the description that I'm using. But I'm really enjoying this. Okay, so far with 1.5 pumps, we're getting kind of like a medium coverage, I'd say. It's not super full, because you can still see some redness peeking through, some spots, just like a few imperfections. But right now, the finish is stunning on this. Look at that. Like, it's just evened things out super well. It's not too dewy, it's not too matte. It's basically a natural finish, like they kind of said, right? It looks perfect. Like, there is no settling in lines, there's no cakiness. Even over the primer, it looks really nice. I was scared it was gonna, you know, do one of those weird cakey things. Let me just finish this off. Let me just take the rest off my hand and just apply it in some areas. This is the coverage with 1.5 pumps. You can see a tiny bit of redness peeking through. This spot isn't covered, and like maybe a little bit of hair, But as a whole, my skin looks good. It looks really good, actually. So I might just leave the coverage as it is and not double up with anything. But I feel like the primer did do a little bit of blurring kind of right here, now that I've applied the makeup on top. Nothing crazy, you're not going to get like a complete filled in smooth skin. It's a very natural pore filling effect. Nothing too wild. Maybe if I applied more, but I'm just scared to overdo it on my first time. Then I bought the Hydrating Camo Concealer. So they used to have the Camo Concealer, that one was super matte and long wearing. This is the Hydrating version, so it's a satin finish, which is great. Fair Warm. Oh my god, it's like a Shape Tape wand. Is it supposed to be a Shape Tape alternative? Like a dupe? Dupe, not alternative. Why can I not? I feel like I've applied too much already. This wand is shockingly big. Cover a tiny bit with my concealer. That's why I didn't double up with the foundation, because I feel like I can just go in with concealer and spot correct instead of applying too much foundation, making it look cakey. Okay, so far the coverage on this concealer is really nice. It covered this spot with no issues. I'm tapping very lightly and not moving it around. That's like the key to covering spots, is just don't spread it out too much. Just kind of try and keep it contained to the one area that you're trying to correct. And very lightly press, almost like you're not trying to blend it out in full. Like you're trying to like keep as much coverage as possible. And so far the coverage is quite impressive on this. I feel like this is supposed to be kind of like a dupe for Shape Tape, because it's got the similar wand, it's got the high coverage. I feel like that's what they were going for secretly. Or not very secretly. Yeah, no, this looks stunning. It looks like skin. It covers really well. You could probably use it as like, you know, on those natural days, you could probably just use it as foundation, just like spot correct and then call it a night. I'm going to see what it looks like under the eyes, because that's the problem area. Oh my god, this sponge is so good under the eyes. It just slots right in there. This looks so good. Okay. So far, it looks beautiful. My skin looks fresh. It looks like, you know, covered. It just works really well. I actually don't have a, I didn't get an e.l.f. eye primer, an eyeshadow primer, so I'm just going to use the concealer. I usually do this in these videos. I don't buy too many eye primers because I don't see the point. You don't end up going through them anytime soon. I'm still working on the same one that I've been working on for a year, so I just, you know, I don't see the point. So I'm just dabbing like the excess of my sponge onto the eyelid. Okay, I'm getting a tiny bit of separation here for some reason, but now that I'm blending it out, it looks fine. It was just like a tiny bit of separation here, but I've blended it out and it looks fine. It looks normal, no issues. So I don't know, it must have just been like a blip, because as a whole, there is no separation or anything. So I'm just, you know, I'm confused as to what happened. Let me grab a little bit more concealer. And I'm just scraping off the wand just so I don't over apply. I'll just do a tiny bit more, and I'm just gonna set my whole face, because I have only powder products, so I'm just going to set my whole face. There's no issues with that. Okay, so instead of buying, I always for these videos buy a loose powder, like a loose setting powder, and then I have like 5,000 loose setting powders. I don't use them, so instead I got something that I know I'll actually finish, which is a pressed powder. This is so cute. I actually love the packaging. It feels a little cheap, but I think it's just really aesthetic. It looks kind of retro. I don't know. This is in Fair Light, and you just open it like this. I love that basically nothing here has a mirror, because it cuts down on costs, but it's also more eco-friendly that way. So, you know, I can just use the one mirror that I have instead of having a mirror with every single product. I think it's just, yeah, it's just, there's no need to add the extra costs of a mirror when you can make the products more affordable and just not have a mirror. And it's easier to recycle. So I'm just setting my whole face with this. I mean, so far it looks really good. It sets it in like a nice way. Do I think this is the next Charlotte Tilbury Flawless finishing powder? No, but it's also doing a really good job. So, you know, would I say it's a dupe for my favorite powder? No, but it's also like a £3 powder instead of a £40 powder. So I feel like for a £3 powder, this looks incredible. It smooths out my pores. It does the whole thing. And I'm just really happy with it. It does look a little bit more powdery than my Charlotte Tilbury powder, but once again, the price difference is significant enough for me to ignore the fact that this looks more powdery. I feel like I'm going to be a little bit more lenient on e.l.f. purely because the price is so good that, like, even if something is more powdery or, you know, it takes a little bit longer to blend, you're paying such a small price compared to the high-end makeup that you can't expect it to perform the same way. If it does, incredible. If it doesn't, I'm not angry about it. But I feel like e.l.f. has the formulas down purely because they're saving money on the packaging. They can afford to make better formulas, and that's what they've done. I feel like that's where they're succeeding. Okay, so I'm just gonna move on to bronzer. I have the primer infused bronzer in the shade Perpetually Tan. I don't really know the difference between the bronzers. I went on there and they all looked really confusing, so I just picked whichever one looked the lightest and just went with that one. I'm gonna just use my regular bronzer brush to keep it, what's it called? Keep it consistent, have some consistency. And I'm just going to go in there. I hope I didn't take too much. And just start bronzing. It's definitely a buildable pigmentation. I really just enjoy how buildable it is. It's very warm, like verging on orange, but I think that's really nice for summertime. I'm not like angry about it or anything. It's a super forgiving bronzer, you can tell, because I just like stamped it without tapping in one area and it just blended out fine. So I think because it's super buildable, you're not getting that like unblendableness. I mean, it blended out really easily, so it's just like, I have nothing else to say because it just blends out really well. Okay guys, this blended out like a dream. Look at that. No skipping, no patches. It blends out beautifully. The shade is really warm, so just be careful if you're not into the warm shades. Try and go in store and, you know, see if they have anything more cool toned, because Perpetually Tan is very orange, but it's a nice orange. It's like I've been out in the sun kind of an orange. I actually really enjoy this. Look, so far so good. Then I have this face duo that they recently came out with. So because the bite size eyeshadow palettes did so well for them, they released something similar but in blush and highlight form. Only problem is I really liked this blush shade, but I feel like with this blush shade the highlight you get is pretty deep, so I'm gonna have to be really careful with this one. But I loved this blush shade, so this was the one I wanted. I'm gonna go in with the little e.l.f. blush brush and just pile it onto the brush and apply. Okay, once again, super blendable. It is matte, so, you know, be careful with that if you don't like matte blushes, but if you do, this is a really nice formula. I like to blend pretty much like the blush right into the bronzer. Like, I don't really have separate placements for the blush and the bronzer. I just apply them kind of everywhere. This is what the blush looks like. I think it's really stunning, actually. It just blended out really nicely. It's like super silky smooth. I'm now just going in with the powder brush. This is what I usually do, just to make sure the blush and bronzer aren't too low or too much. I just kind of go in and fix it up like so. This blended out like a dream. It looks super good. Then I have the highlighter brush. I'm going to be careful with this one because I feel like the highlight could be a little bit deep for me. So I'm going to try and just very gently apply it. Okay, it's super like natural to begin with. I feel like I'll have to pile it on a little bit to get a lot of glow. Okay, definitely you have to kind of pile it on to get a glow. But when you do get a glow, it looks stunning. So, like, you know, this could be a good like natural highlight as well, because you can just build it or you can keep it more subtle. It doesn't look too deep on me. It doesn't look awful. There's a tiny bit of a cast, but nothing that I can't work with. So this is that little bite-sized duo. I think it's just really stunning. I'm gonna just quickly swatch it for you guys. So this is the highlight. I think it's just like this beautiful golden shade. Look at that. It does leave a little bit of a cast, as you can see, but I just really enjoyed this blush shade and I didn't want a lighter blush because I do like a little bit of a clown look. So this is what the blush looks like next to it. I feel like they could have made the highlight a little bit lighter for this or the blush deeper for this. I feel like these two are not the same skin tone. That's my only concern, is like this blush is for like my skin tone but this highlight is for someone a little bit deeper than my skin tone. Stuff like these just don't go well together. I'll go in with the eyeshadow palette. That's like my next step. So this is the Bite Size palette, and it's in the shade Rose Water. It's like this cool toned mauvey kind of a look that I'm going for. So this is what they look like. I'll swatch them for you guys. I've only touched one of these and I haven't really swatched it properly. I just kind of touched it because I was tempted. So here is this shade. I'll show it to you guys all together and that'll be more fun. Okay, these feel super luxe, like almost high-end, if I may say so myself. I am doing some really good swatches here for you guys, just so you can see the full potential of these. Okay, so this is the palette. Look at that. That does not look like a £4 e.l.f. palette. That looks incredible. Are you kidding me? That's such a soft and stunning look. Blendability is amazing. It's just blending itself out. And this brush is really nice as well. It's super cute with the way it looks, but it's also, you know, just a really nice brush. And this set was not expensive at all. So, you know, it's just an easy way to get some good staple eyeshadow brushes. Okay, so that's what that looks like so far. I think it just looks so natural and so beautiful. This is such a good everyday look. Even if you just do this one shade mascara and then just like a good nude lip, I think you've got like a really good everyday easy look going. Okay, so let me just apply that on the outer corner as well. I am piling it on just to deepen it up, but you can build it, which is really nice because you only really get one of these transition shades. So it's got this like mauvey pink grey look, which I really enjoy. I feel like the camera's not doing it justice, but I feel like it just looks really nice. Okay, so then I'm going to take a teensy tiny bit of this shade here. I know it's dangerous, but I just need it to slightly deepen up the whole look. So I'll apply it right in the corner here. I literally tapped it in the most minimal amount. I just like ever so slightly tapped it. Okay, so this is where we're at. I just deepened it up, made it look a little bit more smoky, but I also went in with the bronzer a tiny bit on the brush, and I basically just like skimmed the edges just to blend them into my skin a little bit, because I do like a cool toned look, but I do sometimes want to just blend it into like a warmer eyeshadow just to make it look a little bit more wearable. But so far, I think everything's blending out super well. I think it's just the perfect tones. I'm really impressed with like the deeper shade, because if you tap into it just very gently, you can easily use it to deepen up the other shadow without looking, you know, like a proper smoky eye. So now I'm going to just use this mauvey pink all over the eyelid, and these feel incredible. These like shimmer shades. Oh my god, it looks so pretty. Okay, I'm leaving the inner corner bare because my long nails don't fit in there, so I'm going to use a brush. But I want to just do the whole lid with my finger because that looks better. It's picking up really well on the brush and it's not falling out, which is great. Because I'm picking up quite a lot, so you'd think it'd be falling out, but it's really good. There's like minimal fallout that I can basically clean up with a brush, like so. And we're back to looking good. I think the pink looks so pretty. Okay, what I'm going to now is take just the same flat brush that I used for the shimmer shade and just apply it here at the bottom. And drag it pretty much across the whole eye. I love shimmer on the lower lash line. I think it just looks really nice. And just drag that across. I need a tiny bit more on this side, like so. And then I'll use a little bit of the taupey shade on the same brush just to add some matte back in. But I'm not going to use the super deep shade on the lower lash line because that's too smoky for me right now. I just want a little bit of taupe and pink on the bottom. That looks so good. It looks like I have like a weird shadow here. I don't know what that is, but it's not makeup. Must just be how the camera's set up. Yeah, it's just the camera. Okay, so this is what that looks like. I think it just looks so soft and so beautiful. Okay, now I'm going to take the brush and wipe it off. And I'm going to use it on the lightest shade here as the inner corner and brow bone highlight. So far, I'm super impressed with this palette for how inexpensive it is, how small it is. You can get a really good cohesive look, and I'm just really excited about it. Oh my god. I have a brow pencil and a brow gel. These are also very inexpensive. So this is, I feel like I'm gonna keep on saying it even though like this whole brand is inexpensive. That's the whole point. This is the Ultra Precise Brow Pencil in the shade, I can't find the shade, but I think this was like a taupe or something, and it looks like it. It's like a very blonde taupe. This is the shade. It's just like a cool toned brown essentially. So I'm just gonna brush my hairs up. It feels pretty stiff, which is good because you're not gonna get through it as quickly, and it's gonna create super thin strokes. So I'm just gonna go in and fill that in. Oh my god, the strokes on this are incredible. I don't know if you can see how hair-like that looks. So this is what the brows look like. I think this is such a good pencil. Oh my god, I'm finding so many good dupes for things. Look at this brow. It's feathered at the front. It's precise on the back. I love it. I love it. Then we have this brow gel. This is also in the shade taupe. And it's supposed to just be the Wow Brow. That's it, just Wow Brow. I think it's got fibers in it, which is really nice because you can see some of the fibers sticking off. I'm just feathering it up, kind of like this, just to give it a more fluffy effect. Oh, that looks really good. I am so happy with these brow products. Like, look at that brow. It's perfectly like facing upwards without looking too, you know, out there. I'm heavily impressed with this. I wonder how long it will last on my brows, like if it will hold my brows in place, but so far so good. Then we've got a mascara. So I didn't get a mascara that kind of like based on the claims. I got the mascara based on the picture of the wand because the wand to me is so much more important. So I just got the wand that looked the best for me, which is like a big fat fiber wand. They have this new mascara on the website, but it seemed to have like a plasticky or a skinny type wand, which just isn't my thing. Just curling my lashes, making sure to grab all of them in there. Okay, and then going in with the mascara. This is the Mineral Infused Mascara. It's just a black tube. And it's got a fat fiber wand. That's what I love to see. Okay, so I think this is supposed to be like a natural mascara maybe, because look, it's not clumping at all. Milk Kush mascara vibes, or the Glossier Lash Slick. Kind of just like a very natural looking mascara. I think that's a really good thing. I mean, it separates nicely, so I'm not complaining. I didn't know what to expect from it because, like I said, I didn't read any of the claims, so I just got it based on the wand. Okay, so I think this is about as far as I can push this mascara. Like, that's all I can give it. It's really nice. It's just super natural, so if it's not something you're looking for, then just buy the other ones. But this one is a very nice everyday lengthening mascara. I have nothing more to add to this. I don't have any lip liners. I have a lipstick and 2 lip glosses. So I have this Satin Lipstick. They come in these like plastic clear packaging. You can literally see the lipstick just chilling in there. This is in the shade Taffy, almost rosy shade. Let me just try it for you guys. It's supposed to be a satin lipstick. I don't know. Okay, it's super pigmented from the get-go. It has the flavor of a affordable lipstick. I don't know if that makes any sense. It looks really pretty. It looks super opaque and matte and just really nice, but it's got this hint of flavor of like a cheap lipstick. Okay, that's fine. I'm just not a big fan of it. I feel like lipstick is one of those things where a lot of the time you can tell it's more affordable based on the scent and flavor it has. It's just not my favorite thing in the world. I kind of knew it buying the lipstick, but I thought I'd give it a try. And yeah, it's just not my favorite flavor of lipstick. I'd rather it have no flavor or some kind of a vanilla flavor, some kind of a sweet thing. It's got this like weird ingredient taste. Like, you can taste the ingredients that are in this product. So I'm not a big fan of it. And the shade's okay. It's not my favorite. I think it looks different in the pictures. I'll be giving this away to someone that doesn't mind. I'll just disinfect it, you know, cut this thing off, and maybe someone will want it. It's close in my life. But what I am excited about is we got these 2 lip glosses that I bought. This one is, I just thought for everyday it'll be quite nice. e.l.f. Retro Paradise Dream On Lip Gloss, and it's pink, mauvey pink with like this tiny specks of like gold shimmer. It's got a flat wand. Oh, that looks so pretty. Look at it. It shines gold. I love that. Okay, and then from their mint collection, we have the Mint Melt Lip Plumping Gloss in the shade Mint Sprinkle something. It's basically green gloss, okay? It's a clear gloss with green sparkle going through it. Smells minty. The green is like really visible. Look at that. Like it actually shines green. Okay, so I'm gonna apply the e.l.f. Retro Paradise and see what that looks like first. I just touched my nose. That is incredible. My hand-eye coordination is just not doing too great right now. Okay, so I'm gonna just, it smells like some kind of a sweet that I can like remember, but I can't really remember what it is. This is what it looks like. I think it looks really nice, and like, I think it just makes my lips look really plump. It looks so good. And it smells really nice. It doesn't taste weird. So I'm just gonna wipe that one off and apply the green one just so I can see what it looks like. It's not the most hydrating lip gloss, which is fine. You don't really get a lot on the wand. So you have to dip in a few times to get your whole lip covered in like a lot of lip gloss. I'll try the minty one and see if it actually looks green on the lips. I think that'll be quite interesting on top of lipstick or something. Yeah. That's literally green. Okay, that's like chunky sparkle if you don't like straight up glitter on your lips. I don't get it, but if you do, okay, I can already tell it's plumping. It's mentally, it's giving me weird, like a weird green lip, but I feel like on top of like lipstick, it would look really nice if I had like a nude lipstick on with the green duochrome going through it. Look at that. That's so glassy, so weird. It looks so strange, but it's really plumping and it has the green reflex. I feel like on top of like a pink or nude lipstick, or even red, that would look so good. You just wipe it off. My lips look really nice right now. Look at that. Okay, so the rundown is that I don't have setting spray, but my skin looks really nice right now. It just looks really matte, which I'm not used to because I usually just have really dewy skin. But what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna use my Project Pan high-end setting spray. Sorry, I didn't buy a setting spray, but this is what my skin looks like without setting spray, if you guys, you know, wanted to see what it looks like. So now that I've applied my Charlotte Tilbury, I also then went in with my Fasali. This isn't important for this whole look because it's obviously not part of the e.l.f. vibe, but I thought I'd just let you guys know what setting spray I'm using. You can literally use, I bet there's e.l.f. like versions of setting spray that work just as well. But this is what my skin looks like right now. I love the way it looks. So nice. My skin looks pretty perfect right now. Like for a CC cream, it's very full coverage, it stays on, it looks like it's going to be really long wearing. The blush and the bronzer blended in beautifully, you can't tell, it's like super seamless. The highlight is really nice. Even though it was a little bit too deep for me, I was scared it was going to, you know, show up. I laid it on pretty well and it looks blinding, it looks really nice. The mascara is super separating and lengthening, so if that's what you're after, then go for it. If not, find a different one from e.l.f. The brows, incredible. Incredible, so affordable, so lovely. The lip gloss is amazing, it looks so shiny, so beautiful. The eyeshadow, iconic. I want to try more of these shades. This one is the mauvey one. I know people rave about like the brown one and then a few of the other ones. I want to try them so bad. They're so affordable, but just so good, so compact. They'll be so good for travel. Look at that. Like if you just bring like 3 or 4 of these, they don't take up much space, but you get like 1,000 different looks in them. That's what I'm saying. Then we have, oh, the concealer is also really nice. I love it. I think it's just like a solid concealer. We get the face powder. It's really nice. It's good for the price, if that makes sense. But it's quite powdery if you overdo it. So just be careful with it. Apply it lightly dust, because it can look a little bit powdery. Mainly on top of like peach fuzz, it can just stick to the hairs. I want to try the cooling primer because it felt really interesting on the skin. But I want to try it on my face. The Putty primer I'm still thinking about. I think my pores are smaller, but I'll give it a few more tries and see. For sure, the lipstick, not a fan at all. It's got like a weird, it's got a crayon smell that I'm just not a fan of. The shade was just not something I'm gonna use, so that's not something I'm really into. I think this mint gloss is super interesting. I'm gonna really enjoy putting on top of like other lipsticks to make them more interesting. I think that'll look really nice. The brushes are great. This set of brushes is so good. I created this whole look with just these 3 brushes and I'm just so happy with them. And I wish I got a setting spray, but I didn't. This sponge, incredible. I recommend it. I love it. It's incredible. It just fits into all the cracks and crevices of your face. Like, look at that. You can just like go in and on the edges. Super soft, super squishy, grew in size. I love it. I'm going to keep on buying it. That's the takeaway of this video. Look how squishy it is. I love this sponge so much. I recommend basically all of these products. This is a face under £90 really, and it looks incredible. It looks like a high-end face, and that's all you can really ask for. So I am heavily impressed and obsessed. I'm glad you guys made me do this. So if you guys enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, comment down below anything you want to comment down below, and subscribe to videos every time I think of something to do. So hit that bell, you'll be notified when that's happening. Social media links and the links in description. I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.